Happy Saturday, YouTube. Andrew here with Mic Check Gaming. This video is going to be a little different. Not so much gaming, more so technology, studio, YouTubing, how-to. Video is going to kind of focus on how we YouTube, how we make our videos, the gear we use. Only doing this because I see there's a lot of people online asking about how other creators do their content. So I figured I would just throw another option out there for someone who doesn't really know where to start, to give them an idea of something they could do. Our setup is certainly budget conscious. It is certainly not the cheapest option to get up and filming, but it certainly isn't the most expensive. We did have our dollars in mind as we were doing this, but we also wanted to end up with a somewhat decent looking product. So hopefully if you've seen some of our older videos, you will see that over the course of the channel, we have improved in quality, slowly, but it's happening. And I'm hoping to give you a rundown of how we sit today with the equipment. So I'm going to go over what I would consider to be the three main categories: your video, your lighting, and your audio. I'm actually going to cover them in reverse. To start off with audio, I will tell you right off the bat, if you can, do not use your on-camera audio. It's not that great. If it's all you have, it'll work, but there are plenty of audio options to choose from, whether it be a camera mount mic, like the Rode VideoMic Pro or the VideoMic Go, or any other option like that, or to what we're using, which is wired lavs. So we have two Audio-Technica wired lavs. They have a little belt pack and then the wired lav. These are XLR out, on-off switch, battery powered, nothing fancy. And we have these running to a Behringer Q802 USB mixer. So it's a 2-channel microphone input. Actually, it's an 8-channel, 2 microphone inputs, a couple of line level inputs, but the biggest thing is a USB output. And I record all of the audio direct to my laptop and then sync it up with the video once we're editing. It's just easier to keep it separate for me because I have an audio background, so I can edit any audio things faster if I have a separate audio track to begin with, clean up any pops, clicks, noises, stuff like that, EQ it a little bit, and then I can throw it into the video and do the video editing. Pro tip, if you're jumping into this new, do not cut or splice any of your audio until it's synced with your video. It'll just save you a whole bunch of time if you do them both at the same time, and that way you don't have to like track down each file twice and match everything up. So pretty straightforward there. Moving on from audio to the video. What we started out with for our video was a Garmin Verb, which is actually kind of a GoPro competitor. I have this for pilot's lessons, but this versus GoPro, I think GoPro shoots a little bit better footage in terms of image quality. This has built-in GPS, so you can get like your speed and your direction. You can actually get a map of your video. So I went with this for that reason. But when we started the YouTube channel, it doesn't work as well as we would have liked it to. It certainly works. It'll get the job done. Honestly, I think we could have used our iPhones and gotten better quality off of them, but this is what we had, so we used it. Got through a couple of episodes with it and quickly realized it was more frustrating than it was handy. Biggest issues being low light image quality is terrible, and not having any lighting at the time didn't help. All we had was that lamp in the background and then the window. So if it was kind of cloudy out, the video looked like crap. And then it's a fixed lens. So you can't adjust, you can't zoom other than digital zoom. You can't adjust your focus or anything. And it's a fisheye lens, so it has a pretty aggressive fisheye to it. It has a setting that supposedly counteracts that. It does a decent job, makes it better, but it's still a pretty aggressive fisheye, which just doesn't look nice to look at for a long period of time. So we decided to upgrade to this, which is a lot better quality, I think. This is a Nikon D5300. I did a lot of research on the cheapest DSLR I could get that would be compatible with an external recorder. The reasoning behind that is most DSLRs have a video recording limit of 30 minutes. That is for two reasons that I have found. One reason being overheating issues with the sensor and the processor inside the camera. I've read some conflicting reports on that being true, not being true. It used to be true with older DSLRs, not true anymore. but that's one of the reasons I found. And the other reason is for tax reasons. I guess in Europe, if a camera records more than 30 minutes, it's considered a camcorder, and it is then taxed higher. And so a lot of DSLR manufacturers just cap their video recording at 30 minutes and avoid that to begin with. There are a few that are exceptions to that, one of them being the Panasonic, I think the Lumix, or the Lumix series, the GH3 and the GH4. Those can record unlimited video duration. The only thing limiting you there is your battery life and your storage, your memory. So we got the Nikon for, this is the cheapest camera we could find that would do what we wanted it to do, which was a clean HDMI output. That basically means that we can get a video image out of the camera that does not have any menus or graphical overlay on top of it. So most DSLRs of the consumer level, if you plug them into a TV, say, to show off your pictures, it has a whole bunch of menus and it shows you all of your settings, your f-stop, and blah, 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 blah. You don't want that, because if you're going to an external recorder and you have all that on, it records all of that on top of the image and there's no way to remove it. So basically a clean HDMI output just means it's a clean picture with nothing on top of it. The Nikon D5300 is the cheapest camera I could find that had that, so that's what we went with. I didn't realize that when you go into live view on Nikon cameras, I think it's called live view on Canon cameras as well. Forgive me, I'm not a camera guy. This is my first decent camera I've ever owned in my life. While it gives you the clean HDMI output, it also has a 10-minute timer if you're not recording, where it turns off for power saving reasons. Like, it'll go back into normal camera mode. So that's bad, because when you have this thing plugged into an external recorder, you do not have the camera recording, it's just sitting there. The external recorder is doing all the work. Well, it doesn't do us any benefit if the camera cuts out for 10 minutes. Pretty upset I missed that important issue while doing my research. Kind of thought I put all this money down on a camera and then find out it doesn't work, at least not in the way we wanted it to. The image quality, I think, is fantastic, but if it only gives us 10-minute clips, it's kind of a pain. We were going for unlimited footage, especially when I bought this external recorder to use. But I found a loophole. So for all of you Nikon D5300 users, and you want to do unlimited video, I can't guarantee the longevity of your camera due to overheating issues. Whether they be true or not, I don't know. If you go into full manual mode and then set your focus to full manual focus, turn off autofocus, only manual focus, and then go into live view mode, and if you take a rubber band and put it around the grip of the camera and have it pressing the shutter button halfway, that will trick the camera into thinking you're interacting with it, and it will stay in live view mode for as long as you need. You have to turn off autofocus, because if you press that button down halfway, it would trigger the autofocus, and this camera autofocus is kind of slow and it could cause issues. For talking heads like this, you set your focus beforehand, you'll be good to go. It is recording into this little device over here, the Atomos Ninja 2. So this is an external recorder that also acts as a monitor. The nice thing about this is we can do all of our interactions with it from the couch. So when we're shooting gameplay, we can start the recording, stop the recording from the couch. We can check our framing, see if something's out of focus, not have to get up and look at the back of the camera. It's just convenient on top of. The other benefit is this records to hard drives, which dollar for dollar, you can get a lot more capacity in a hard drive than you can an SD card. So there's a 500 gigabyte hard drive in here that's recording all of this footage, as opposed to trying to buy, you know, a 64 gigabyte SD card or what have you. If anyone's curious, this is the 500 gigabyte hard drive that was originally in my PlayStation 4. So if you are a gamer and this is what you're looking to do, and you've upgraded your PS4, which is a common thing for gamers, that old hard drive will work in here. All of this is battery powered, but I have wired wall adapters for all of these just to avoid the issues of batteries dying. From there, we move on to lighting. So we got like one of the cheapest lighting kits we can find on Amazon. It originally shipped with 2 stands, 2 daylight colored bulbs, as well as 2 33-inch umbrellas, which are just, they're umbrellas that are white, and they diffuse the light for you, so it's not such a harsh light. Because of the size of the room that we shoot in, which is actually the smallest spare bedroom in my house, we went out and bought a 16-inch softbox, which is very similar to an umbrella, only it's a closed back and it's a square instead of a round umbrella. The softbox is sitting on my desk, which is why we had to go to a smaller size. The bigger umbrella actually just took up too much room. It made the room feel that much smaller. It just didn't work very well. Plus, with the distance that it is from the couch, the softbox is a little more focused and direct, so it lights better from further away. Again, all the links are down below. I am by no means an expert on any of this, but just kind of sharing our trials and failures with you. So hopefully you'll get an idea of what you could do and save you some time and effort. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw a comment down below and we'll answer them with how we're doing something or, our process. We are using Adobe Premiere Pro as our editing suite. I don't know half the features it can do, but I love it. We didn't have the money to go drop on a purchase of Final Cut. So Premiere Pro, we have the subscription. It's like 20 bucks a month. It's not ideal, but it works. Appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this. I'm sorry if you were bored or not into gear or tech, because that's all this was. But again, any questions, let us know. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Rob's got a video coming out on Wednesday. My next one will be the Saturday after that as usual. The February Rewind will be coming out kind of soon, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you on Wednesday.